developing through technology an ability for consumers to measure their own carbon footprint. What does that mean? That's where are they traveling? How are they traveling? What are they eating? What are they consuming on the platform? So individual carbon footprint tracker. Stay tuned. We don't have it operational yet, but this is something that we're working on.
And the one final note I will make is that if you think about the benefits of digital money, there are huge potential gains. It's not just about digital forms of physical currency. You can have programmability, units of central bank currency with expiry dates.
A key difference with the CBDC is that central bank will have absolute control on the rules and regulations that will determine the use of that expression of central bank liability. And also, we will have the technology to enforce that.
The government decides that units of central bank money can be used to purchase some things, but not other things that it deems less desirable, like, say, ammunition or drugs or pornography or something of the sort. And that is very powerful in terms of the use of a CBDC.
The way we think CBDC can improve financial inclusion is through what we call programmability. That is, CBDC can allow government agencies and private sector players to program, to create smart contracts, to allow targeted policy functions. For example, welfare payment. For example, consumption coupon. For example, food stamp. By programming CBDC, those money can be precisely targeted for what kind of people can own and what kind of use this money can be utilized.
Man, what in the Orwellian, tyrannical, New World Order total control is going on here, right? Things that have you thinking. And it's crazy to me that these individuals, these alphabet groups, WEF and BIS and IMF, they come right out and let you in on the agenda, what they're trying to do. And then when you show that to the regular Joe out there, they got that look in their face like a deer caught in the headlights, right? Like, from their face, you can tell it's like, what I got to do with me? Like, everything. It has everything to do with you, right? But still, they can't just wrap their minds around this kind of information, right? Because it messes with the bubble that they're living in. It is too much of a nightmare, too much of a reality. There's a lot of people try to escape reality by any means necessary, right? Social media, drugs, porn, whatever they can use to just try not to face reality. Well, the thing about reality is, if you don't want to face it, it is going to face you at some point, and you wouldn't know how to deal with it. This is what happened to a lot of people in 2020. They lost their minds, man. When the whole thing was right in their face, they didn't know how to handle it, right? And the crazy thing about it is 2020 is nothing compared to what we just saw. They're talking about tracking your carbon footprint, that is. They're talking about programmable money. Not only are they able to program this money to which, they will have you spending it on what they want you to spend it on. And the fact that it's programmable means they can turn it off. That's the meaning of programmable, right? Someone programs it to react a certain way. They can turn this money off. They can make it to where you won't be able to purchase anything if you are against the NWO, if you are against all the agendas, right? Not only that, they have the power to enforce it. Like you heard the fat dude from BIS going into it. They have the power to enforce all of this, right? So it's high time for you to wake up and smell the coffee, so to speak, because it's getting hectic out here. It's going to lead to a lot of hellish conditions. That's exactly what their plans are. They're trying to make your world a living hell. All in the name of sustainability, all in the name of the Green New Deal, right? All in the name of for the greater good. Whatever term they're trying to label it on. Well, what it is total control. What it is a digital concentration camp, a digital prison planet. That's exactly what it is. And you should be aware of this. You should be very aware of it. This is Psalms the 21 chapter and 11 verse. It says, "For they intended evil against thee. They have imagined a mischievous device which they are not able to perform." Psalms the 38 chapter and the 12 verse. It says, They also that seek after my life lay snares for me. And they that seek my hurt speak mischievous things and imagine deceit all day long. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Ruach Double honors to apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught us this truth and continue to teach us this truth. Peace, salutation, shalom, shalom, shalom to all you hopeful elect brothers and sisters out there who, beginning with the 144,000 mighty men of the house of Israel, down to the men, women, and children that are allotted to be delivered in this latter days, who are of the elect, and to the brothers that are preaching this gospel in all honesty and in sincerity, to you all that say shalom, right? I was just watching the clip, I just saw a lot of thoughts were just going through my mind, how real all of this is very well becoming. And you speak about these things 10 years ago, 20 years ago, right? 30 years ago, so a lot of people look at you funny. Like, what are you talking about? What is this? Now, you're hearing it from the horse's mouth. This is the plans they have for you. This is the plans for the future. And the future looks pretty, very, very, very grim. Because what they're trying to do is to condition everything, right? Even your hair conditioner will be conditioned, right? Well, all jokes aside, this is what they plan to do. They plan to condition your life to the point where you don't know which way is up, right? So all you got to do is leave it to this wicked rulers to decide for you what to do, what you spend your money on, right? And that only happens if you've been a good little boy and girl, right? That's just what it is. That's what it boils down to, total control. That's an Orwellian nightmare. And it's right in front of your face. You're talking about programmable money, where the money can be programmed for you to where to spend your money on and this and that and the other, right? They're talking about having the power to enforce it, right? They're talking about what is it? Carbon footprints, right? They're talking about that. The carbon footprints where they can monitor everything you do, right? Your carbon footprint you live, right? So tie that in with this digital programmability they're talking about, which is, the cashless society. They've been working on that for the longest. Now, if your carbon footprint exceeds what they allow, guess what? This programmability, you had the IMF individual going into, can shut you down. You won't be able to spend whatever, or they will limit you on the things you can spend. I mean, this is a nightmare, and they're looking to make this a reality. It's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy, but they're all working towards this thing. It's almost ready to go. That's the Agenda 2030, right? It was supposed to be Agenda 2020, but, they pushed it forward to let you know how far behind they are. So now they're in that Operation Warp Speed. They can't wait to get this thing going, right? And you understand why they're trying to reduce a lot of population. It's not about resources. It's never been about that. It's always about control, because it's harder to control 9 billion people on the planet, right? So looking to weed out dissenters. In the process of weeding out dissenters, they're also going to weed out those that comply. Because you, believe it or not, you will comply your way to your own demise. The more you comply, the more they require of you to comply. It's never one thing. It's always this and that and that and that and that. Next thing you know, you're in your grave, rotting away. You see? This is the reality of it. It is terrifying, but you got to know these things. Hence why we have to put the scripture out in Psalms the 21 chapter and the 11th verse. It says, for they intended evil against thee. That's exactly what it is. Evil. And they intend to carry this evil against you. So it's hard time for you to see for what it is. It says they imagine a mischievous device. The carbon footprint, the programmable money, cashless society, the 15-minute cities, and to top it off, the mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip that will be implanted into you, going into your digital identity and all of that, right? Because the mark of the beast is the end-all be-all of all these agendas. They have to put that device inside of you. How else are they supposed to keep track of everything you do? You need to put that device inside of you. Just having it on your phone is not enough, because you can lose your phone. You can keep your phone and go wherever you want to go. So they need to keep track of you 24 hours a day, even when you're sleeping. So they need that chip inside of you, which is the mark of the beast that the scripture warns about. So the beast system is looking to have total control of everything. And that total control requires you to be chipped, either in your arm or in your forehead. That's exactly what these individuals are talking about. So I heard the dude from the World Economic Forum talking about the keeping tabs on the carbon footprint. Said the technology to do so is in the works. What do you think he means by that? Right? It's to chip you. That's how they'll be able to monitor everything you do. If you fought too long, it will register as, oh damn, this dude here, we gotta cut him off from eating eggs and, more meat and things of that nature, because he's been fighting up a storm out here. That is what they are. Is what they're talking about. They're already telling you that cow farts, add to the emissions that are killing the planet. So what about you? We all fart. You see? So that's where we are with it. Try to make light of the situation, because the craziness of it all is already terrifying enough. You see, this is Psalms the 38th chapter and the 12th verse. It says, they also that seek after my life lay snares for me. So these snares have been laid. The programmable money, right? The cashless society, the universal basic income, right? Social credit score system. So these are all snares they've laid for you, and anywhere you go, you're bound to run into the snares. So what are you going to do? How will you proceed forward? Well, the scripture tells you how to do. It says, they also that seek after my life lay snares for me, and they that seek my hurt speak mischievous things. Everything these wicked individuals are going into in the clip we just saw is nothing but mischievous things. It's very mischievous, man. To try to tell somebody what to spend their money on, right? Have you out there looking crazy. That's exactly what they want. To tell you what to spend your money on, what not to spend your money on, right? Total control. Not only that, they have the power to enforce it. You heard the dude, the fathead snake from the IMF talking about it. They have the power to enforce you to do these things. Whatever that means, right? It's saying here, it says, and imagine deceits all day long. So while you're out there lollygagging, sleeping and partying and bullshit, and guess what? They are imagining deceits all day long, right? How to have total control, how the world on lockdown, right? Have power over everything. Man, woman, child, animals, right? This is all deceitful things. The mark of the beast trying to chip everybody, That is all deceitful things that they imagine all day long. how to accomplish all of this. You see? Proverbs 24th chapter and the 8th verse, it says, he that deviseth to do evil shall be called a mischievous person. And that's exactly what we have here. MFers imagining to do evil, right? They devise these evil devices. Guess what? They shall be called mischievous person. And that's exactly what they are. So if you think these individuals are for your own good, think again, man. You're sadly mistaken. You know? They've laid snares for you, like we read earlier. So if you think these guys are good for you, guess what? You'll be caught in that snare. And you will pay a huge price for it. In some cases, with your life. You see? Ask those that took the jabby jabs, they'll tell you. You see? It says here in Ecclesiastes, the 10th chapter and the 13th verse, it says, the beginning of the words out of his mouth is foolishness, and the end of his talk is mischievous device. Yeah, they're probably talking about, what we're trying to do with this digital thing is called what we call programmability. And, we can have the government section, program the money and who to go after. You see what I'm saying? It's nothing but foolishness and just prideful talk. Mischievous madness. Trying to track everybody's carbon footprints is nothing but mischievous madness, man, and foolish talk. How crazy is that, man? But that's the world we live in. We've given them so much power that they think they can do all of these things. Not only that, the power was given unto them from the King of the universe, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. So they have an appointed time to achieve all these things. And very soon, they themselves will be taken out of power and have a taste of their own medicine. That is going to happen. Believe that. That is definitely going to happen, man. This is Micah, the 7th chapter, and the 3rd verse. It says, that they may do evil with both hands, earnestly. Check that out, man. They do evil with both hands, earnestly. That's what the scripture is telling you. So everything you hear these guys talk about is nothing but evil. Even though they try to garnish it, make it look good, shit is still shit. Even though you're trying to throw a chocolate chip cookie around it, shit is still shit, man. Spray perfume around it, try to design and disguise it to make it look good. At the end of the day, shit is still shit. So that's what they do. They have all these terms: sustainable development, the Green New Deal, and Build Back Better, and Make America Great Again, and all these terms they use. At the end of the day, it is still bullshit. All of it. And it's crazy how they always get the simple-minded, caught up in all these lies, man, all these deceptive lies. Like they say here, they do evil with both hands. So both Republicans and Democratic parties are all evil. So this is how they do evil with both hands. So to you think, I'd rather go with this or I go with that. Well, they're both evil. How about that? I'd rather go Republican or I'd rather go Democrats. You see? But they're all the same thing, man. It says, the prince asketh and the judge asketh for reward. It says, and the great man, he ordereth his mischievous desire. So they wrap it up. Look at it, that. Would you look at that? So the great men, part of the great men are the guys we just saw in the clip. What they do? Well, they speak anytime they open their mouth. It's nothing but their mischievous desire to have the world in total control. That's exactly what they are. That's exactly what they do, and that's exactly what they've been doing. So when you see them talk about these things, it's never for your own good. Never have and never will. You see? Let's read that in the NLT. It says both their hands are equally skilled at doing evil. You see that? So it doesn't matter which section you try to trust in, they are equally skilled in doing evil. If you want to trust in the Democratic Party, you want to trust in the Republicans, guess what? they are both equally skilled in doing evil. It's time to get your head out of your ass and see the world for what it is. It says officials and judges alike demand bribes. Now you see why the whole system is corrupt. Both your elected officials and the judges that are supposed to dish out justice, they are corrupt to the core, man. They demand bribes. They get paid off. And the wicked, this wicked elites that run the whole show, they have nothing but money for days. So they can buy out your wicked officials. They can buy out, the judges that are supposed to bring justice. You see? So this corruption is at the very core of it. So anyone promising you of draining the swamp, there's no way he can do that. That's empty promises, man. The only individual that can drain the swamp is the Son of the Most High that will come back and do these things. He's the only one that can drain the swamp. Because all these individuals are corrupt to the core. Well, the scripture says so, right there. It says the people with influence get what they want. And together they scheme to twist justice. Come on now. Oh boy, that said a whole mouthful right there. Together the twist justice, the scheme to twist justice. Why do you think that justice never go forth? Right? Justice never go forth. There's a scripture about that. What does it say again? Judgment. Let me see if I can find that scripture. Okay, I think I'll find it this way. Bear with me. Here it is right here. This is Habakkuk, the first chapter and the fourth verse. It says, therefore the law is slacked, and judgment that never go forth. For the wicked compass about the righteous, therefore the wrong judgment proceedeth. It's like we read earlier in the book of Micah, the 7th chapter. It talks, going about how to twist judgment. Why is that? Well, it says here, therefore the law is slacked, and judgment that never go forth. You never get true justice in this twisted, corrupt system that we live in. It says, for the wicked, they'll compass about the righteous. In other words, the wicked are the ones in power. The righteous don't really have a lot of power right now, but that will change very soon. So for the fact that the wicked compass about the righteous, therefore the wrong judgment proceedeth. So every single time, you're going to get the wrong judgment because the wicked are in power. Right? Like it says, they are both hands are skilled in doing evil. Right? Let's read that in the NLT. It said, the law has become paralyzed. Whew. It says, and there is no justice in the courts. The wicked far outnumber the righteous. So that justice has become perverted. I mean, come on now. That's exactly what we see. Why do you think you have all these wicked individuals in all these high places, dictating your life, talking about how they're trying to make life a living hell for you, and nobody is trying to come up against that? Like I said here, the wicked outnumber the righteous. So they're all wicked that are in power, right? And if you're righteous in power, they take you out. You can't make it that far, man. You see what I'm saying? That's what we have here. Like it says here. So the justice have become perverted. Everything has become perverted. Why do you think all these known pedos, PDF files, are walking around free? Right? They have the Epstein list, right? They have all of that. They have the Didi Freakoff names. They're never going to arrest these guys. Like it says here, justice has become perverted. This is exactly what we're dealing with. Perverted individuals. So when you see them trying to make you promises of this better life, don't believe them, man. like the old saying, don't believe the hype, right? Don't believe them. Always watch out and be very, 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 very watchful of these individuals, man. And with that, all praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rechaha Kodash, double honors to apostles and elders of Great Millstone. See you next time, Lord willing. Shalom, shalom.